So here you are, the Geek Speak show, friend of the show now. We got to get you your own chair, your own mic, and everything. It's like you've been on, I don't know how many times now.
I at least need a T-shirt. Sorry.
Yeah, David Weiner, the executive editor of Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine, the ones who are responsible for the Silver Screen Festival. The first one, this is the second day as we recorded this. So far, from what you're seeing, reactions from you. How's it going for you?
It's been spectacular, and I have to say, when you put something like this together, you hope for the best, but you might not get anybody showing up. And obviously, we had ticket sales, but it's one of those things where it's not really until you're here and you see everybody, and people are in costumes, people are in makeup, you know, lots of people wearing wonderful horror T-shirts that have American Werewolf and Freddy Krueger on it and everything else in between. It's very cool. And so it wasn't until I walked in here yesterday and I saw all this signage that we really are, it's kind of like we own this floor of this wonderful theater in Santa Rosa. It's very, very, very cool to see it happening finally.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I mean, it happened with us also, and I'm sure a lot of the people that are here, it happened to them. We're walking down the aisle, and so is Robert Englund. So is Heather Langenkamp. So is John Landis a few minutes ago. John Landis walked like right next to me. He said hi and everything. He doesn't know me, but where else can you find something like that?
Well, you got John Landis. Where else can you find John Landis walking up to David Naughton and showing him a Famous Monsters shirt with the werewolf that Rick Baker painted, holding it up saying, "It's you."
And Rick Baker was walking around too, by the way. Yeah, so
yeah.
And Rob's behind us here. Rob Pryor's painting. It's just fun. And I was talking to Rob a few minutes ago in his interview, and you guys will see it when you watch the whole video. He was saying, I was telling him how we in the Geek Speak show, we cover the San Diego Comic Cons and all the other conventions, and you don't get the same intimate feeling that you're getting here, which is worth the price of admission alone.
This kind of feels like a community event.
Yeah.
You know, it is a film festival, but we've really made it something that's fun, interactive. You don't have to sort of line up for a movie theater and you see a movie and that's it. We wanted to make sure that there was a lot going on to keep you interested and amused and, if not, educated. And so the fact that you've got Cinema Makeup School doing a demonstration, you've got Rob Pryor painting these fantastic, amazing things. We've got a bunch of wonderful, very cool panels after a lot of these films, whether it's with the filmmakers who are part of the film festival competition, or films that are out of competition like American Werewolf in London, celebrating its 35th anniversary, or Nightmare on Elm Street with a Wes Craven tribute, or even Heather Langenkamp talking about the documentary she did, I Am Nancy. It's very, very, very cool. There's so much going on, and I think everyone here is very much part of the spirit that Forey Ackerman really was part of when he had the magazine going. Lots going on.
Yeah, and a lot of people have said, and I agree, and I'm sure you will too. If Uncle Forey was here, he would be proud of this. This is something that's like right up exactly what Famous Monsters of Filmland was all about. What he was all about.
You know, he was all about taking a genre that a lot of people might find a bit disturbing, a genre that a lot of people might be adverse to, and it's a battle that he fought when he was writing Famous Monsters magazine. And he sometimes had to recruit mothers of children to write for the magazine, saying, I show horror movies, I show this magazine to my kids because I know it's good for them in so many ways. It stems from Grimm's fairy tales. So to have a bunch of people here, young and old, to participate is wonderful. I mean, I saw Robert Englund doing some signing, and there were some kids dressed like Freddy Krueger. You know, my point is that it's a genre that some people have a problem with, but overall it's so well accepted, and the people that are part of this genre and embrace this genre are very family-oriented, are very friendly, are very considerate, and it's wonderful to see when you interact with the fans directly. It's all, everything that you expect, it's all right here.
Yeah, now, you see the turnout behind us, and I know Phil Kim, the editor of Famous Monsters of Filmland, it's his hometown, and it was perfect to be here. But if it does come back next year, do you want it here, or do you want it hopefully at a bigger venue?
I think I think this is what you said about it being an intimate venue. I think that's what's making this such a success, is the fact that, the bigger the venue, the bringing more people, it becomes a little less personal. Yeah. And I think the intimate nature of this, where you can share this floor with, the likes of John Landis and Robert Englund, and just walking around doing what they're supposed to do, saying hello to fans and doing their panels. And it's an amazing thing that I think any con, any event, the early days are sometimes the best days because that's when it's not too crowded. You don't have to wait in huge lines. And I think that's the virtue of what's going on here is it's very personal, and everything that's going on in each and every theater is also the Q&As, the panels are very intimate. You don't feel ultimately like this is sort of an indifferent to the fans event.
Yeah, I was going to say, being a film festival, you have the screens right there. So perfect. So, where are you guys going to be next? I know this is a big one, but are you guys going to take it to a convention?
Yeah,
we're see you guys next.
What's next? I believe is WonderCon. We're going to have a presence there. We've got Comic-Con obviously going, and all sorts of other events going on. You know that we have in the works. But WonderCon and Comic-Con, you could definitely find us there.
And of course, again, can't let you go without talking about the magazine itself. It's in newsstands, but it's also available digitally. Where can they get it digitally? Digitally,
you can get it on magster.com, MAGZTER. And you can find the current issue on newsstands. You can also go to captaincode.com or famousmonsters.com to get the current issue and to get older issues, back issues, and all sorts of cool Famous Monsters merchandise. And, while we're throwing out URLs and hashtags, and it's all about we have a very fun social media presence. We're very interactive there. Please check us out on Facebook and on Twitter, FMOF, and our podcast as well. I'd love people to check that out, the Famous Monsters podcast.
Yeah, and those of you who may be hearing about Famous Monsters for the first time, it's not just about monsters. I mean, tease them real quick, what's in the current episode and what's coming up in the next episode?
Well, it's Famous Monsters. It's a magazine that's been around since 1958, but it's not just monsters. It's sci-fi, it's fantasy, it's horror, it's even genre pop culture. And it's one of those things where Mr. Rob Pryor
makes a cameo.
Doing some limbo in front of us. Famous Monsters magazine is a very cool magazine because we get to embrace everything beyond monsters. The current issue, we've got Batman vs. Superman on the cover, and on our alternate cover, we've got American Werewolf in London. And Batman vs. Superman is a wonderful interview with Zack Snyder talking about the movie and his upcoming Justice League that he's about to start.
Little movie you guys may have heard about.
And for American Werewolf in London, what's very cool about that is for the pages of Famous Monsters, I reunited John Landis, Rick Baker, David Naughton, Jenny Agutter, and Griffin Dunn to reminisce and create some new insights as well. Provide new insights for this wonderful movie that we all love so much. And I'm sure you got it, or you could put a little B-roll in, later. But we have this life-sized American Werewolf there. And boy, it's a thrill for me to be able to talk to David Naughton and interview him, and then have a couple photo ops in front of that werewolf. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, there's a couple of werewolves here actually that we saw, and you guys will see that in some of the B-roll.
And, and to finish just what you were saying, though, the next issue that we've got is coming out in April, and you can look for that. We've got Game of Thrones on the cover, and we also have Clash of the Titans, and lots of stuff. We're going to continue.
The original, not the remake.
Yes, the original. 1981. I had a wonderful conversation with Harry Hamlin, talking about working on the last great Ray Harryhausen movie, and it's also we talked to Joe Dante about The Howling, and Dee Wallace about that. We also have I talked to the directors, the Russo brothers, about Captain America: Civil War. I talked to Duncan Jones, who directed Warcraft. I talked to oh my gosh, lots of people, lots of things going on. It's very cool. We preview Penny Dreadful Season 3, so much going on. It's a very exciting time to be making this magazine.
Yeah, so again, like I said, David Weiner, you finally get to see him. Thanks a lot for inviting us. It's been a blast this whole time here.
Well, Henry, I always have it's always a pleasure being on the Geek Speak podcast, the Geek Speak show. And
like I said, we got to get you your own mic, your own chair. And everything. You've been on so long.
That's right.
And people like it when you come on and say, when is David going to come on? I actually did get emails saying, when is David going to come back on?
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad.
Make it regular.
Maybe I'll get a hat out of it or something like that. Yeah, no, I'm happy to come back anytime. Thank you very much.
Thanks, David.
And thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no problem.